I don't have to tell you to get up on your feet. Here we go. See the face of God in paupers and kings. Well, we're all precious, no one less or more. We've all got the same treasure in store. I am loving every living thing. Let me hear ya.
I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing.
Oh, ah, oh.
I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing.
You know what, Nate? Whatever happens, it always turns out right. I just dig right down to how I feel. Take a deep breath and I grab that wheel. I'm believing in my guiding light. Okay, come on, everybody.
I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing.
Oh, ah, oh.
I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing.
Oh, ah, oh.
It makes me feel so good I could do most anything.
Brian Gadsden. Let's give some love to Brian. Well, I'm reaching for my highest place with the wind in my back and a smile on my face. Well, I'm living my dream more and more each day, and I just do not care what those church ladies say. I'm believing in my highest place.
I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing.
Oh, ah, oh,
I can't help it. God makes me wanna sing.
oh, ah, oh.
It makes me feel so good I can do most anything.
How's it make you feel, Karen?
Feel so good I can do most anything.
How's it make you feel, Dr. Jim? Feels so good I can do most anything. Wow. Okay, well, good morning. This room this weekend has been jumping. So how many of you were here for Martin Kerr? Awesome. That was such a beautiful, beautiful night. Beautiful night. And then yesterday all day we were here with Welcome Home, and the sanctuary just was like so gorgeous and spiritual and just radiated love everywhere. And then those church ladies showed up. And within seconds, the entire room was so loud. I've never heard. How many church ladies were there? 9,000. 9,000 church ladies, led by Yvonne. And in fact, if you were a church lady, can you stand up, please? Let's have the church ladies stand up. One, two, three, 4, 5. So that's okay. We have 6 of the 9. The other 3 have hangovers. It was quite a night. You know, moving all these chairs, putting on all the tables. This bingo hall last night was just spectacular. We've decided we're going to do bingo a lot more often. Yes, well, because we bought the bingo materials, and we are going to make this quite a rally. We're going to be just like the Catholics. except better. No. We're more open at the top, yes. Well, you know, at the Catholic bingo, how many people have ever gone to Catholic bingo? I grew up going to Catholic bingo, and my family were serious about bingo. You didn't talk. There was no noise at bingo. You did not talk because money was on the line. And so you go to bingo, and my grandmother, oh, God rest her soul, I would try to say, Nana, shh, pay attention to your cards. And it was like, God. Ours was a little different last night. Yeah. So, but I just want to say thank you to all of you that participated in this whole weekend. Originally, some people were like, we're doing a lot on one weekend. Is that a good idea? I said, yes. How many people were here all weekend? Yeah, right? From Thursday, yes. I feel like I lived here all weekend, which was really great. So for those of you who don't know me, after all of that, I'm Reverend Dr. James Mellon. I'm the spiritual director here, and I welcome you here. If this is your first time at the center, please stand. Stay standing. Stay standing. No, stay standing. Oh, did you think that was it? Stay standing. Go ahead. Now stay standing. Okay, good. You're not new. So tell me your name. Allison? Okay, Allison, stay there. And what is your name? What? Lispa. Where are you from? Denmark originally. So what is your name? Elizabeth. Lisbeth. No H. Lisbeth. Lisbeth. Now I've forgotten your name completely. Allison. Oh, thanks. Keep me abreast. Allison, Lisbeth, and Dan. Thank you for that simple name. Allison, Lisbeth, and Dan. Okay, good. So, oh gosh, the lights are bright. And your name, please make it simple. Lulu. Okay, in the back. Karen. Lulu, Karen, Dan, Lisbeth, and Allison. And now it's gone. So now that you're standing, first of all, thank you for coming and joining us. I'm just going to give you I'm going to ask them a question and just listen to see what they say, okay? So we come here every Sunday as a spiritual community to do one thing and one thing only. What is that? So Dan, since you're laughing, what did you hear? That was good. You heard a cacophony. That makes perfect sense. Lisbeth? Did you just say I didn't hear nothing? You're going to go with the cacophony. Lulu? A lot of people talking, don't know what they said. Allison? Okay, so here's what they said. They said that right where I am, right where I am, God is. And that God represents greatness on demand. Greatness on demand. So what we do here, we gather as a spiritual community to just be able to see one another as the divine creatures that we are, and to understand and to recognize God's right where I am, wherever I am, and in everything around me. Does that sound good? I'm asking them. I know you like it. You're here. But this is their first time. So good. I also remind everybody, no, I'm going to go there in a second. Thank you for joining us. You have a card. If you fill it out, I'll send you an email, and then you can tell me what this experience was like, and then I can try to, make amends for it. But thank you so much for joining us today. Round of applause. We also remind ourselves of our vision statement at this center, which is... To love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are. And I'm feeling that more this year than I've ever felt it. I'm feeling, I don't mean just within me, I'm feeling it from all of you. I'm really sensing quite a decision from people to really step into that. So thank you for that. It enhances my life when everybody around me is more really serious about what we do here. And then our mission statement, which is... Do it now. So here's what I'm going to do now. We're going to light the candles. I'm going to bring up our lead practitioner, but before I do, he's also a ministerial student. I just want to point out that this is a very expensive shirt, that this is not underdressed. In fact, it's a little overdressed. because it's an evening shirt, but it was ironed, and so I thought this was a good one to wear. So when you see this gentleman come up with a tie and a suit coat, please know that is not the way I teach ministerial. I teach a t-shirt and jeans is equally as valuable as what you are about to see. So please welcome Kelly Brzezinski.
Thank you.
So annoying. Okay. So we're going to bless world religions. I rewrote them for this year, and it's only the second time I get to read them, but I invite you to really pay attention to these words and see where they take you. So, you ready? We light the first candle for the Tao, honoring humility, non-judgment, and harmony. And then the shamanic traditions, which is the primary spirituality of all indigenous people, honoring our ancestry and our connection to the spiritual world, recognizing that it's all spiritual. And I love the thing about the shamanic traditions is that they really do delve into our ancestry and honor and respect and love everything that's come before. So if you have a moment here to go back and think of a mom, a dad, a grandmother, a grandfather, great-grandparents. I know that my grandmother came from the Alsace-Lorraine and that she was an opera singer. She was French. That's all I know about her. But I know that I come from that. And then Hinduism, celebrating the immortality of the soul and a cooperative interaction with our fellow human beings. Judaism, living a sacred life by following the laws of God and understanding that the laws of God truly boil down to one thing, the law of love. All forms of Buddhism, understanding the blessings of change, non-violence, non-attachment to the physical, and the innate wisdom of the soul throughout all of time and eternity. Christianity, celebrating the Christ consciousness at the center of all people everywhere, and recognizing love as our connective bond with one another. Islam, the recognition and devotion to God and the understanding of free will to live a life of sacred purpose. The Baha'i faith, through daily prayer and meditation, we develop and sustain an unbreakable relationship with God's attributes of kindness, generosity, integrity, truthfulness, humility, and self-service to others. Then all forms of new thought, mental healing through universal spiritual principles. But as Kelly just taught new thought in our ministerial class, what we come to really understand, and it's certainly the bedrock of what we teach, new thought came out of a group of kind of, what's the word I'm looking for, unhappy Christians who decided something new needed to happen, the transcendentalists, most of them poets and ministers. And what they brought forth wasn't to change the old, it was to clarify the old. They called it new thought. Well, I think that new thought constitutes all of this constantly becoming new, all of it. Not, let's go back to the transcendentalists and here's what we're recognizing today. No, the transcendentalist morphed into everything that has come to this point. And it's just the mind saying there is more. And the mind saying it is the simple center of everything. And then the final candle is for everything else. Anything we didn't mention and everything that's going to bubble up. And now Kelly gets to light this candle right here. I can't move that. And this is you. This is your mind. Where do you want to put your mental power today? Where do you want to put your light, your love? What in your life needs expansion, needs focus, needs your love? Kelly will tell us about that right now.
So here's what I know. I know that there is a divine power behind life. Back of every person seated in this sanctuary today, back of every human being, back of all of life, is this one divine power that we call Spirit or God. Call it what you will. It is here, there, and everywhere all the time. And what I know is that this power is good and divine, and I come from that. I am made by it. I am made from it. That is who and what I am, and I celebrate that. In gratitude, I celebrate that. And so what I know today is that this service is a divine unfoldment of that one power, that is what is at work here today by means of the message with Dr. James and Dr. Jim. And everything about this center, about Global Truth Center, is just the further unfoldment, the new unfoldment of this one divine mind that is back of all. And so I simply say yes to it. I say yes to this service and to what it brings forth and brings about in me. I'm open to it. In my mind, in my heart, in my soul, I'm open to whatever I hear today here that is next for me. And in gratitude, I celebrate that. And I simply release this word as law, knowing it is just as I have laid it down, and we affirm together. And so it is.
Thank you, Kelly.
Thank you.
Okay, let me bring my chanting compatriots up here. Yes. So today's chant is called, there it is.
Can you say that, James?
Uh-huh.
I've heard him say
Ho'oponopono.
Yeah!
You thought I was going to miss the apostrophe, didn't you? Heather and Jason.
Are you not going to sing with us?
So we're bringing you an ancient prayer, a Hawaiian prayer called the Ho'oponopono prayer, based on the kahunas, the indigenous of the ancient lands of the Hawaiian lands. It was brought to our attention in the West that Dr. Hugh Len, who transformed a criminally insane hospital with never meeting a client, with these 4 simple phrases. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. So I invite you to bring into mind something, somebody, some condition, situation that may not be pleasant in the world, in your world. And let's transform this world in this now moment, in this 0 point, with this very powerful prayer.
I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Sing that together. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Let's do that one more time, okay? Oh, I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for the places I've forgotten who I was. I'm sorry for forgetting who you are. I'm sorry for forgetting where I am, who I am. I'm sorry for my pride. I'm sorry for my anger. I'm sorry for my consumption, Mother Earth. Please forgive me. Please forgive me, ocean. Please forgive me, mountains. Please forgive me, children, for not speaking your voice. Please forgive us. Thank you, Mother Earth, for sustaining us. Thank you for your sustenance. Thank you, air, for breathing us. Thank you, self. Thank you. Thank you. I love you. I love you. I love we. I love we.
I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Turn to your left and tell the person next to you, I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. Now we're gonna switch sides. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you.
Whenever you're in trouble with your relationship, I invite you to say these 4 simple phrases. It will change. It will rearrange. It will change. It will rearrange. Just, I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you. I'm sorry. Please forgive me. Thank you. I love you.
I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you. I'm sorry, forgive me. Thank you, I love you.
Mahalo nui loa.
Oh, that's like our whole vision statement sung. Really great. That was really great. I cried. That was great. So we're changing things up a little bit today. Instead of a dialogue between myself and the practitioner, I'm glad I did this. Now I don't have to stand up here with him too long. I chose today, given what's coming after that, to give this gentleman a few moments of your time for him to do a power talk, which we used to do a lot. So please welcome the future Reverend Kelly Brzezinski to do his power talk.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, and how goes the new year? How's it treating you? Awesome. Imagine my excitement on Friday afternoon to receive an email from Dr. James asking me if I could prepare a 35-minute power talk for Sunday. And so, of course, being his ministerial student, I went right to work and did that. And arrived this morning, and Dr. James said, "You have your 3 to 5 minute talk ready today." And so you just have to kind of roll with the punches here at Global Truth Center sometimes. And so here is that 35-minute talk, reduced significantly. I will do my best. So anyway, and I love you too, Karen. So here's the gist of my power talk today is we're just coming off of the holiday season, and I will tell you that my husband Alfie and I, the Christmas season is something that we absolutely love. Dr. James could attest to this because he sees me on Thursday nights in ministerial class, and sometimes I'm at home online doing that, and he can see from before Thanksgiving the decorations start to go up and all those things, and he commented on it a couple times. But we love it. We love the holiday season. And And now we have taken out all of our decorations down and stored them and that sort of thing. But it occurs to me that while we've taken the decorations down and done all of that stuff, cleaned up after the holiday, what I don't want to put in a box and store and put away for another year is the holiday spirit, which is really what I love about it. I love the decorations. I love all of those things. We had, Santa Clauses and we have a new collection of snowmans or snowmen or whatever they are, snow persons perhaps, snow persons for this year. But it's this idea that what I love about it is the spirit of it, is the sharing and the generosity, the kindness, the peace on earth and goodwill toward all. And that's what I love about it, that I want to carry with me. And if there's anything worthy of bringing from the old year into the new, I think it is that holiday spirit. And I want to continue to celebrate. So that's what this is about for me today. I don't want to stop the celebration. I want to continue the celebration. And yet, it seems a little difficult sometimes in this is my vision. I want to continue this idea of holiday spirit, and yet it seems difficult sometimes because what I see sometimes impedes that vision. The things that I see in my life, the circumstances, the evening news, for instance. And does it feel like sometimes that stands in the way of this greater vision that I really want to embody? And so for me, I want to make the statement that I think there is a difference between sight and vision. And sight is that which is right here. Right? It's right in front of me. It's in my face. Yes, I have to deal with it. But sight deals with facts. And those things may be facts in our lives, but they are not the truth of our lives. Sight deals with facts, and vision deals with truth. And so the truth for me is that the vision I have for my life for this year and in general is to continue this, to celebrate everything about life, right? Not to allow what I see in terms of circumstances and situations in my life and around the world to impede my ability to celebrate life every single day. And so that's what I'm about. What I know is that there is this place of vision that requires that I step back. And if I can do that, if I can step back a little bit, sometimes I can see through those circumstances. I can see past them, maybe a way around them, so that vision out there that I really want to live is right there, and I have a way to connect with it. So, decorations are down, but the holiday spirit is here with me. And I invite you to join me in that sentiment about keeping that idea of celebration and of goodwill toward everyone, regardless of nationality or skin color or any of those things that so often seem to separate us. Join me in retaining that holiday spirit now and forevermore. And if we will do that, we'll make this year the year of clarity and vision that 2020 suggests it should be. Namaste. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thanks, baby.
You might get a whole week off of homework for that.
Oh.
Great. Okay, that was really great, Kelly. One more round of applause. Yes. Now you know what's going to happen. Every other student's going to say, I want my 10 minutes. I want my 5 minutes. So, right, Karen? Weren't you sitting there thinking that? Eric, were you sitting there thinking that? I don't want to talk to you anymore. I want to talk for myself. Okay, well, we might have to do that. Maybe it'll be a competition, and you can all be like Ministerial Idol. Right? Ministerial Idol, and you all get to vote for who wins.
I think we're going to cede their time to the gentleman
Okay, so I have another this is great today. I have another really great surprise for you. This gentleman who's going to come up and sing, his mother sent me an email with this young man singing this song. It was an audition, I believe it was an audition for high school or college? High school. I keep thinking he's like 20. He's 13. But he's 6'3". So it was his audition for Loxa, and I loved it so much. And I said, "Oh, I got to get him to sing this at church." As it turned out, this was the week I needed him to sing it at church. So here he is, Nate, to sing Vienna. I think it's just Vienna.
Slow down, you crazy child. You're so ambitious for a juvenile. But then if you're so smart, and tell me why you're still so afraid. Hey, where's the fire? What's the hurry about? You better cool it off before you burn it out. You got so much to do and only so many hours in a day. The truth is told, you either get what you want or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? Slow down, you're doing fine. You can't be everything you wanna be before your time. Although it's so romantic on the borderline tonight. Well, too bad that it's the life you lead. You're so ahead of yourself that you forget what you need. Though you can see when you're wrong, you know you can't always see when you're right. You're right. You got your passion, you got your pride, but don't you know that only fools are satisfied? Dream on, but don't imagine they'll all come true. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? Slow down, you crazy child, and take the phone off the hook and disappear for a while. It's alright, you can't afford to lose a day or two. Ooh, why will you realize Vienna waits for you? Whoa, and you know that when the truth is told, you either get what you want or you can just get old. You're gonna kick off before you even get halfway through. Ooh, when will you realize Vienna waits for you? Why don't you realize Vienna waits for you?
How'd you feel? Great. Nate! Wow, that was just great. Do y'all remember that song? Oh, God. I think that's like the perfect song to introduce my partner here in crime today. Because this person is somebody that realized that Lyon was waiting for him, France was waiting for him, and if certainly anybody represents that song to slow down and take your life in the direction where you can actually feel it and live it, it's this gentleman who used to stand here before you well before me. I mean, decades ago when I was a child. Yes, so, but I just wanted to start before I call him up here and tell you that the title of our talk today is Nope. Keep going. Double vision. Because you're about to see two Jims who are both doctors talking to you about vision. So please welcome Dr. Jim Lockard. You're good. You get up here. Oh, yes, take it. No, I'll communicate whatever you're going to say.
I'll just sign and you can. First, I have to say bonsoir, mes amis à Lyon, for my friends that are watching over in France. And it's just wonderful to be here, one of my many spiritual homes that I look forward to connecting with so many old friends and new. So thank you for being here, and thank you for the invitation.
Oh, my God. Whenever you're in town, we want you here.
Thank you.
Really, it's
Thank
great.
you.
So I asked Dr. Jim, he knows that our theme is vision, and although he didn't do the affirmation and theme this month beforehand, but I think that was good because we have a lot to do. So vision, and I asked Dr. Jim to prepare something on vision, and he brought a quote with him today. Can we start with that?
Yeah, let's start with that.
So here's his quote. Nope.
Nope. But that's a good quote.
There's the quote.
So, Teilhard de Chardin is a relatively famous Jesuit who was also a mystic and also an anthropologist, and also was always in trouble with the Vatican, so I can appreciate that. He said, "There is almost a sensual longing for communion with others who have a large vision. The immense fulfillment of the friendship between those engaged in furthering the evolution of consciousness has a quality impossible to describe." I think there's a concept, the concept I like to think of is from Barbara Marx Hubbard, the idea of a pioneering evolutionary soul. That some of us show up with our DNA calling us to do what he's talking about in this quote, which is to seek out the furtherance of human consciousness. And there is a sensual longing to connect with others who are so driven. It's not everybody. I think New Thought has more than our share of these people. But because we tend to be questers, we seekers, most of us are here voluntarily, right? We weren't born most. We weren't born into the teaching. We're not going to keep our parents happy because it's where our business colleagues go or something like that. We're here voluntarily, and the ideas presented here are evolutionary ideas.
You know, something came up in ministerial class this week, actually from Kelly, which I'd never heard this before, which was this idea that there's a thing called Jewish New Thought. Did you all know that? They all said yes. Jewish science.
Okay.
And that they, and pretty much all of us in the room were like, I want to know what they teach. I want to know. So what you're talking about here, it's gone.
It's gone.
You probably have to pull that back up.
Okay.
Yeah. What you're talking about here, when I read the quote when you sent it to me, sometimes we get confused into thinking that this is our family. These are the like-minded people. And we actually stay away from the word like-minded people anymore because like-minded people already indicates exclusivity. You know, it's an exclusive club of like-minded people. And so the idea is that everyone is like-minded. It's just we need to find out what of their mindset corresponds to our mindset and where do we meet and find the expansion. So this quote to me was great. Meeting with others who have a larger vision. It doesn't even have to be my vision, but a larger vision of life. Tell me it. Maybe I'll learn something.
Yeah, I think vision, as Kelly said so beautifully in his 35-minute talk, and by the way, that suit is straight out of Paris. Don't let anyone tell you different. Okay?
He knows.
Is that vision is different than seeing in the moment. It's different than goal setting. Vision to me is something that is overarching. It's my looking forward to how I'm going to be as my own self-evolution unfolds, or how a community is going to be as its self-evolution unfolds. how humanity is going to be as our self-evolution unfolds. And along the way, we get into some difficulties, right? Humanity's, as George Clooney said in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou, we're in a tight spot. There's lots of, I was reading this morning in the news, the airport in Dubai, flights are canceled because it's flooded. Dubai's in the desert, right? The airport is flooded because of heavy rainstorms that they have never had there before. We know that Australia's on fire. You've had some experience with fires here. The neighborhood where Dorian and I live, 2 houses down, that house burned in the last round of fires. I hate to sound like an old-time Christian preacher, but there's a reckoning coming, folks.
I think the reckoning's here.
Yeah.
I think this
unfolding.
country is showing us the reckoning.
Yeah.
And it's time to start. Let's face it, no matter what you think about what's been going on in our world, there has been a huge spotlight from within that has shown out, and everything's visible. And I don't know about you, but I think that's a movement forward.
Yeah.
So the fact that we can see everything now and get a sense of where we all are gives us the ability to now find our way to a place where all of that knows how to live together.
Yeah, and I think our teaching, the New Thought teaching, which is an open-ended teaching, is very helpful to have at a time like this. To be able to love only, forgive everything, and remember who you are, despite the stresses of the day, despite encountering people who maybe aren't of that mindset, who are unable to or unwilling to face consequences or face difficult things. And New Thought teaches, with my experience of it, teaches me to deal with the difficulties of life, stay positive, and yet do the work.
I looked up the definition of double vision just because I wanted to get a sense of exactly how it was. And it's this: when a person sees a double image when there should only be one. Where a person sees a double image where there should only be one, or mixed messages is another way of saying that. And I think what you just said, what New Thought taught you, what it's taught me, why I was so hooked into it the minute I heard Dr. Walker speak, was that I understood that I was seeing the world with so many different perspectives, and yet there is one perspective that gives me the truth, which is what Kelly was talking about too. So I think we do that a lot. I think we say prosperity, we want prosperity, because I hear this a lot right now going into the new year. We want prosperity, but look at the markets, look at what's going on in the world. It's very difficult. Well, do you want prosperity or do you want difficulty? Because we're having double vision about all of this. Health. Yeah, okay, so something came along. You have a diagnosis. Okay, is that who you are? Or is that just the diagnosis in the relative world, which if you back up and use your single-mindedness of understanding that God is pure health, now there's a reason for that, whatever it is, to be handled. But we don't. We live out here in the whatever it is and in the truth, and we've got double vision.
Yeah, and the question is, which of those images is going to become dominant in your own consciousness and your own awareness? And that's the importance of not only coming on Sunday, but taking classes where you actually have a way of learning, a way of practicing the strength, the inner strength needed to direct your focus. Ernest Holmes talked about seeing through appearances to a greater truth, which is not denial of the appearances. It's recognizing that the power is not in the appearances, the power is in the truth. And the truth is often obscured by the appearances, like the clouds often obscure the sun. So we have to recognize the sun's always shining. I was in China one time in the city of Xi'an, where the terracotta warriors are, just an amazing place to visit. And when we got there, we're driving in the tour bus from the airport, and I'm looking up and I'm saying, boy, it's really a nasty day. Is it going to rain? And the tour guide says, no, the sun's out. That's pollution. And you literally could only see about a block and a half. And then it was just this brown cloud, and but he said, oh, the sun's shining, don't worry, it's up there. We just can't see it right now. So how do we live in our brown cloud? How do we live with that idea of whatever it is, whatever our biggest problem is our biggest problem?
Well, how do we get rid of the pollution in our heads?
Yeah.
How do you get rid of your pollution of thought? Dr. Joe Hooper, is doing the first 4 chapters in the first 4 weeks of January. I'm sure you did that for many years.
Many years.
I did it for many years. And I was speaking to someone yesterday who, as a newcomer to a religious science church, was saying how helpful that was. And I thought about it. I thought, I stopped doing it because I actually wanted to keep expanding this. But it's a really good thing to bring up today in terms of how do you get rid of the pollution. So in the first 4 chapters, do you remember what there's? I can test you now.
The thing itself.
The thing itself.
Yeah. What it is? No, what it does.
The way it works.
No, where it works, what it is, or what it does, and how to use it.
There you go. The thing itself. I have more questions coming. You shouldn't have to remember all this now.
Right.
Once you get your doctorate, you're supposed to just drop it all.
What was Dr. Bitzer's middle name?
That used to be on tests, stuff like that. I just
Yeah,
don't care.
I know.
But it's Hilda.
It's Hilda.
Isn't it Hilda?
I thought it was Miriam.
Marion, yeah. I knew it was some womanly female type of name.
And they're wondering,
What's
who
his
the hell
first
is
name?
Dr. Bitzer? Right?
Dr. Robert.
He was the
Bitzer.
very first minister of religious science, starting in 1930, and he retired in 1995
Yes,
at the Hollywood Church.
He was at Dr. Walker's doctorate, and they literally wheeled him out. He was in his 90s then, and they wheeled him out, and I'm sitting there as I just started, I was just one of the singers, and I'm like, why are they bringing him out? He can't speak. And people would talk to me. He had no reaction, nothing. And they literally came over, and they lifted him up, and they walked him over, put his hands on the podium, and it was like all of a sudden he went, "There is one power." And all of a sudden this brilliant talk came out, and we're all like, oh my God. And then he was like, "Brr."
Well, that's ministry, folks.
So the thing itself, the way it works, what it does, and how to use it. The thing itself is God. But what does that mean? We throw around God so much.
Yeah.
The thing itself. The reason why Ernest Holmes said the thing itself is because he didn't want to use the word God. He didn't want to use the word that everybody used and had a connection to, and for a lot of people, not a good connection to.
Right.
So the thing itself, the energy of life. The way it works, very simple, your mind.
Yeah.
That's it.
Law. It works by a mechanism we call in the teaching the law, which is the impersonal nature of the way things work in universal principle.
Right.
So
The way and that's what it does. It does exactly what it's supposed to do, which is the law of cause and effect.
yeah, and how to use it is to get your mind in attunement with the greater truth of your being and think from that rather than from the cultural norms from which many of us think, which are fear-based.
Exactly. And our tool for that is what? Spiritual mind treatment, says my Prac 2 student. Thank you, Corrine. You get extra points for that.
Yeah.
So that's it. So it's God is all there is. My mind, it's almost like a treatment, those 4 chapters.
Yeah.
God is all there is. My mind is the access point for all of it. There's a law called the law of cause and effect, and I use it by using spiritual mind treatment. There's the entire first 4 chapters. I haven't taken a month to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. And
Which
it
is
wouldn't
why
hurt you, it wouldn't hurt you all to read them again if you hadn't.
No, absolutely. And I get the idea about classes. But Sundays are
Well,
not...
it's back to basics kind of a thing. We often need to, my wife is a violinist, and every day when she practices, the first thing she does is her scales,
Yeah.
which is the very basic exercise. And even though she can play at a transcendent level, she does her scales every day. Students would often ask me, well, can I do treatment without the steps? I say, only when you're manifesting 100% with the steps, you see, because we tend to want to step away. What we're looking for is a shortcut. I don't need that anymore. It's too basic. Well, if your life's perfect and there's no problems, then yeah, by all means, go to the next level, whatever it is. I don't know. I've never been there.
Yeah, so if you
I still have issues.
So if you're in the hospital and you're having brain surgery, how would you feel if the doctor came up to you and said, look, you know what? I know how I'm supposed to do this, but I'm going to play it by ear and just kind of do whatever feels good. Is that okay with you? I'd be like, get me a new doctor.
Yeah.
Right? So, spiritual mind treatment, people don't want to follow the steps. And I don't care what order the steps come in. I don't care. All that's fine. You can be creative with it and all. But you said, how can I do this? Can I manifest without treatment? Well, we're manifesting without treatment all the time. All the time. Because all treatment is a use of thought, the way you use your mind. So you're always treating, but if treatment is a movement of energy for a specific purpose, are you treating on point for a specific purpose with an absolute definitive way of doing it? No, that's treatment. But yay, go ahead, treat all the time, and you'll have the double vision of life show up on your doorstep. You'll have this and you'll have this, because you haven't taken your mind and said, nope, only this.
Yeah, I think if you look at it in a hierarchy, a vision is the overarching thing about how, and I think vision should be more about being than doing. And then, like, my vision for years has been freedom and contribution, that I wanted to create a life where I was free to kind of do what I want to do and enjoy life, but also free to contribute, which requires some degree of prosperity, both in terms of, in all the connotations of prosperity, having sufficient health, having sufficient wealth, having sufficient capacities to express and give your gifts. And then below that might be goals. You might have some goals that are specific to your vision, medium to long range kind of a thing. And beneath each goal, you might have 5 or 6 affirmations that you've created about statements as though it's done, seeing the goal as though it's done. And then out of those, you develop spiritual mind treatments for each affirmation.
Wow.
And then you're doing a process of an orderly transition from your current reality to your desired reality.
Wow, that's good. I like that. We just started a new 16-week mental muscle. We're just finishing week 1. And it took me a while to find my word. Everybody finds their word when they start. And the word I came up with, Laura Wagner gave me this, was balance. And it wasn't just because I wanted to find more balance in my life, but it was because I started to understand the balanced mind is a mind that can do what you just said, that can have all of these balls in the air. And I have a lot of balls in the air. I know, I heard it as I said it. There are a lot of things going on in
We're
my
all
life.
adults. We'll deal with it in a mature way.
Yes. So there's a lot going on. And frankly, there's none of the things that are bouncing around I want to give up. I'm not interested in letting go of any of them. But I am interested in balancing them. And it all starts out with a balanced mind.
Yeah.
So that's why I loved it when I was looking for a title. I was like, oh, double gyms, double vision. But then double vision took me to this whole place of like, how blurry is your life?
Yeah.
How blurry are your dreams?
Well, double vision can actually be a good thing. I mean, you can take the two of us, there may be some difference in how we speak, and you can pick the one you like best and grow into that in terms of any particular idea we talked about.
We all know the answer to that.
No, I mean... Look, I'm leaving the country in a few days.
Yeah.
It's not a big deal.
But so am I.
I'm going back to the land of baguettes.
And I'm doing the keto diet with no bread. Yes, so.
Yeah. But,
Yeah.
but what I notice, for example, living in Europe versus living here, people say, well, what's the difference? And there's a number of differences, but I think the big difference is when I talk about, I think it's true of not all of Europe, but like France, Italy, Spain, Portugal, the Romance countries, is they work to live, they don't live to work. And you see that in so many ways. Like if it's not a chain store or business, it's closed for 2.5 hours at lunchtime. So people can go home, have lunch, take a nap, come back, or make love, whatever they do, and come back and
Are those my
afternoon.
options?
Yes.
Nap or make love?
Yeah. Isn't that always your option?
Pretty much.
Okay. So you
It's my
take
whole
a lot,
life.
Take a lot of naps. So.
No, in fact, I rarely nap.
And everything's closed on Sunday, pretty much. Some of the stores open for a few hours in the morning, and then everything's closed the rest of the day. And it's a very Catholic country, except nobody goes to church.
It's true.
Under
Yeah.
1% regular church attendance in France. It's the most secular nation on earth, but it's a secular Catholicism. Mm-hmm. It's kind of interesting how
They
that
go on
works
Christmas
out.
and Easter.
Maybe. I'm serious. If you go to church, it's 2 old ladies from the village in the front row and everybody else is a tourist. That's sort of the way it works.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
And they don't talk about spirituality or religion. If you bring it up, the curtain comes down. They consider it a very private and personal thing. They'll talk about philosophy until we're out of wine, but they don't talk about
So
which
forever.
never happens.
Yeah,
by the way,
right.
yes. But they don't want to talk about spirituality. It's considered a very personal thing. So anything organized is not going to catch on. At least that's where they are in the moment in terms of their own cultural evolution. So I noticed that difference. And yet, what I would say is that the ethical construct over there is very strong. That the EU concept and the way things are done, and like the cable companies have to put the customer first and profit second. So my cable bill is about half of what yours is. My cell phone bill is about half of what yours is because that's the law. They regulate when stores can have sales. So the big stores can't put the small stores out of business.
Wow.
Well, that's socialism. I get that, but so is a fire department, by the way. But anyway, I'm just saying, so the difference is, and yet there's a spiritual hunger on both sides of the pond. Mm-hmm. Not so much a religious hunger, but there's a spiritual hunger in terms of who am I, what are we doing, why am I, what am I here for, what gives meaning to my life, why can't I have more love and compassion in my day-to-day activities? And I think, again, New Thought is the answer to that. Barbara Marx Hubbard said New Thought is the spiritual answer to the evolution of humanity in the 21st century. And I really love the way you're doing it, because I think you're doing it right.
Oh, thank you. Well, I've had great teachers, and you being one of them. And I know we're contemporaries, but when I first came to this teaching, you were already a minister, and watching you, was great to watch the way you did it and with your open-mindedness. So we're out of time. Tell me final thoughts. Anything
Can
you'd like to?
Can I tell a joke?
Oh, please. Is it clean?
More or less.
Okay.
So there's a fellow, and he's stranded on a desert island for 25 years, uncharted. You know the story, right? And one day he sees a ship coming by that he hasn't seen a ship in years and years and years. So he quickly builds a bonfire on the beach, and sure enough, the ship takes a turn in. They put a boat in the water, and 3 men come in to the beach, and they say, what's going on? He said, I'm trapped here. You have to rescue me. He said, we'll be happy to. How long have you been here? He says, I've been here for 25 years. He said, wow, I see there's 3 huts up there. Did you build those? He goes, yes, I built those 3 huts in the time I've been here. He says, well, why do you have 3 huts? Are you by yourself? He goes, yes, I'm by myself. He says, well, why do you have 3 huts? He says, well, the first hut is my home. That's where I live. So that's okay. What's the middle hut? The middle hut is my church. That's where I go to worship. I said, what's the third hut? Well, that's the church I used to go to.
Dr. Jim Lockard. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming here and being a part of this. That was just great. That is a funny joke. Okay, so with that, I invite you to take out your contribution, your tithe, your membership, your whatever you want to call it, but call it something, because it really is about conscious giving. It's funny. Somebody talked to me last week and said, the one thing I hate about church is that they make you pay to go. And I was like, what church do you go to where they make you pay to go? And she looked right in the face. She goes, well, yours. And I said, that's not true. You can come to my church, give nothing for free, just sit. She goes, no, but to be a member, you have to say, here's what I'm going to contribute. And I said, that's right, because to be a voting member of anything, to be a member that is actively concerned and being a part of the growth and expansion, you are investing in that company. And she looked at me, she goes, exactly what I said. You have to pay to go to church. And then I realized there was no conversation to have. So I just said, I understand your point, but please feel free to come to church and don't give me a penny. I said, it sounds like you should. Just come to church and listen about the law of reciprocity, the law of giving, how this works. Maybe a little bit about the law of cause and effect. I don't know. But that's just in case there's anybody that feels that way. I want you to know, no, you do not have to tithe at this center. You do not have to give a percentage of your income. You don't have to give anything. I said, I would hope you would understand what giving means, but no, that's not the case. But you do to be a member. And those of you that are members, how many people here are members of this center? Okay, that's like 90% are members. We know, we understand. And I want to tell you how grateful I am for that. So let's know this together, shall we? Divine love consecrates my gift. It goes forth to heal, prosper, and bless. It is evidence of my conviction that God is the source and substance of my supply. I joyously contribute to the vision of my spiritual center, knowing that it returns. How? Multiplied abundantly. Think about all the blessings in your life. Where are you blessed? What blesses you? This blesses me. Every single person in this room, every single person online. It blesses me to be a part of this global community that continues to expand and grow. So where are your blessings? Hello, Kelly?
So divine love consecrates my gift. That tells me that this act of sharing time together, sharing space, sharing our resources with one another and with this center, that divine love consecrates. That means this is a holy act. Our sharing with this divine community, and that just absolutely fills me to the brim. That knowing that this is sacred, what we are doing here. And I'm so grateful for all of it. I know that this center is vibrant and viable and just doing absolutely incredible work in the world. And that comes by means of the sharing from each and every person here today. For this, I'm incredibly grateful. I simply release this simply by affirming, and so it is.
your Global Truth Center Los Angeles announcements. Today's community practitioners are available for a complimentary 5-minute spiritual mind treatment session following today's celebration. The annual wine tour is just around the corner on February 1st. A few seats still remain, so if you're a new member or you're wine curious, consider the wine tour a perfect way to make new friends, both the human kind and the fermented grape kind. See Diane Brabant today for details. Coming up on the calendar, our annual general meeting is next Sunday, right after the celebration. This meeting is open to all members who have completed a new membership form during our current drive. If you have any questions, please see our membership table today in the Breezeway. Finally, Welcome Home continues here in Westlake Village every Saturday in January. There will be 6 unique classes per day from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Each class is $15, and you can sign up now online. More information on all our events is always available at our information table in the Breezeway, on our community bulletin board downstairs, or online at globaltruthcenter.org. Have a fantastic week, everyone.
Thank you, Thor. I want to say hi to everybody online today. Jacquet, Suzanne, Mary Lou, your wife is there. Rangel, Jody Fisher is there. Robin Peterson, Deborah, Linda Vasofsky in Canada, in Toronto. Shannon and Al Cook in North Carolina. John and Mary Oxrider, where are they? Banning in Palm Springs. Oh, that's great. JC, Gary and Pam Minimum in Seattle. And I want to read this. So Lesia loved Kelly's Power Talk. Lesia, who is watching from Victoria, Canada, I think that's correct. Robin Peterson loved Nate's voice. And then Suzanne Benoit said, Nate is a gift to all of us here at the center. And then incredible service today. We are so blessed having 2 Jameses in the room. But it's one Jim. It's a Jim and a James. Yeah. So where are we? Oh, so Eric. Yes, I know Stephen too.
So I've volunteered to help out with membership, and so I just want to let everyone know to attend the membership meeting next week after church. You have to be a member, and if you're already a member but you haven't renewed for your membership for the coming year, you still have to do that. And so that just involves filling out a brief form either at the table outside or you can do it online. We want it all done by Friday if possible because the new budget is being prepared for the coming year to be presented at the annual meeting for everyone to look at and ask questions about and so forth. And in order to prepare the budget, we need to have the numbers of all of the pledges of all the members because the members, the contributions from all of us members make up 90% of the contribution income, which pays for everything that we have here, the bulk of it, other than the few fundraisers that we do throughout the year. So if you're not a member yet, all it takes is to fill out this brief form out there or online, and you're just pledging or predicting roughly the amount of money that you expect to contribute during the coming year, which can change, and you can let us know, but it just helps us for budgeting purposes. Does that cover all of it?
That's pretty much it.
And I want to invite Lisa Carey up, who's going to just... Yay. Say a couple words about her personal experience with giving and being a member. Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you for
Eric.
this opportunity. I came to this sanctuary in 2016 when I was going through some really self-awareness things. Something had landed at my feet, and I saw an ad in the Acorn for a sanctuary that was embracing all religions. So I stood up as the new member in the crowd, and I was given the Serenity Prayer, and it started me on this personal journey. And thanks to this gentleman and Global Truth Center, it has just been a very expanding awareness, and I owe a lot of that to the community here, and I feel so much love and support. And I think the masterful thing you do, Dr. James, is you do it with song, and you embody this teaching. You share your personal stories, what you encounter throughout the day, and you help guide everyone on how they can tackle things on a personal level. And you don't do it in a way of, you need to do this and this is how it's done. You invite people to go within and ask questions of themselves and expand, and it's very freeing. I grew up as a Protestant religion. I'm married to a Jewish man, and I love dearly. And I always grew up as an athlete, so I didn't have a formal religious education. I thought of myself as a spiritualist, but I could never find any way to do that. And I toured in my teens and 20s, and I used to go in churches wherever I was around the world.
She's not telling you that, and you keep getting further away. She's not telling you that she toured with the Ice Capades.
I was a professional figure skater, and I got to represent the U.S. in competitions. And
what medal did you win?
The silver world championship.
Yep.
So
we have the silver world champ here. We have the bronze medalist for diving there. It's a very sporty church.
But I bring this up because I was always performing when there were services. So I never had that opportunity, but when I did go to some religious ceremonies, the thing that bothered me was that it was out there and I needed to be humble. And I really couldn't grasp that feeling of something out there that I needed to be humble about and feel less than. And as a figure skater and an athlete, I knew the power of the mind on a physical level, that it could change how I could do a trick, or if I didn't go into it 100% believing that I wouldn't fall and wipe up the ice with TV cameras watching. I needed to believe that, and I could do that, but I didn't have any guidance on how to do that within myself on a spiritual level and how the mind works. And I found that here through Global 2 Center and through being held and loved with all of you. So that's what I wanted to share.
And by the way, Lisa is one of the Welcome Home teachers. She teaches the Aging with Power class. So really I do want to say one thing about Welcome Home. Yesterday, actually every week we have been here, it's pretty spectacular. And I really invite you all to take a look at what the classes are and see if one speaks to you. Eric and I are going to make sure that we start putting out descriptions of what each class is, because some people are like, what is chakra integration? Are we going to come in and be shocked? Yes, you will be shocked at how amazing chakra integration is. I was there yesterday for chakra integration, and literally my body was tingling by the time Eric finished going through all of my chakras. So take a look at it, because we haven't started marketing it yet. We're still in our beta stage of working on each class, making it better and better based on your thoughts. So join us for that. Stephen Brabant has something he needs to say.
Thank you, James. I want to speak just for a couple of minutes about our upcoming wine tour. Probably the two biggest questions. It's on Saturday, the February 1st. We'll give you the time. Those who sign up, we'll give you the time that we're going to be leaving when we know for sure, based on arrangements with the winery. The two most questions were probably asked in the last week. Are there seats available? Yes, there are still some seats available. Please see Diane to get a seat. Now, if you don't pay, you're not guaranteed a seat. If you pay, you're on the bus, all right? The second thing is, what wineries are we going to go to? I'm not going to tell you what wineries we're going to go to. I will say this. If you want to know, well, first, the insurance policy on the wineries is Karen and Diane. They don't drink crummy wine. That's all you need to know. But if you want to know the wineries, Brad and Karen have been working very diligently about that. Talk to them or to Diane about the wineries. And the reason I'm not going to share about the wineries is because in all the years we've been doing this, what I've learned about this thing that we do is the wineries do not make a difference. And if that was ever proven, it was last year.
Yes.
what happens on the bus with the people
Stays on the bus.
stays on the bus, most of it. What I will share with you is that this is an event that truly draws people together. We have people who go on this who are new, don't know anybody. It is probably the best event if you don't know very many people to become part of a community, if not by the first winery, by the second winery, but I digress. But no, seriously, the community spirit about the event is what makes it so successful, and people have such a good time. I highly encourage you. We, in fact, get people on this tour that don't drink. They come to be part of it. Last year,
I wasn't drinking.
Last year, James did not drink. Now, I have it on good authority. James will be drinking this year. I believe we will have a better time because of that. But this is a community event that people like. So the facts: $125. That gets you a seat on the bus, 3 wineries, lunch, and a fabulous time. I'll end with picking up where Kelly left off about continuing the spirit of Christmas. Probably wasn't what Kelly was thinking about, but there's an aspect of that spirit that if you want to continue it, get on the bus on February 1st. Thank you.
That was good, good. And just so you know, I believe there are only like 6 seats left, like 6.
Yes, but we always have a couple people who drop off, and we will do our best to allocate. I mean, we can't guarantee it, but there's usually a bunch of people who don't make that get on. But if someone drops off, we get them on.
So we're going to end up with a waiting list probably. Okay. All right, good. I think it's time. Did I miss anything, Thor? Great. Then it is time to bring in the children. Morning.
So we took vision, and we went full bore with vision. Today we talked about Helen Keller. And we talked about this woman who gave us a quote, which I'm realizing I left downstairs, so I'm going to paraphrase the quote for you. She said that the only thing worse than being blind is having sight and no vision. Is that how it helped? Yes. Yeah. So we talked a little bit about Helen and all of her amazing accomplishments. And then we talked a little bit about amazing accomplishments we might want to have. So we had a little bit of a meditation. We contemplated Helen's quote. And then we created our vision. Some created with clays. Most of us did some drawings that were gorgeous. And got a chance to really tap into that and say, if I can envision this, what else can I envision? So I want to just share a couple of pictures with you of what came out of our visioning. You want to share with us? This is Juliet. She's a new returner to our classroom.
So I drew a picture of Positano, where it's one of my favorite places to be. And I just drew a picture of at the beach relaxing with a cat, because they're amazing. And yeah.
Where was this?
Positano.
Where's
Italy.
Positano? Oh, in Italy. This is quite a global day.
I went there during the summer.
And what?
I went there during the summer.
Oh, you went there during the summer? Just a little trip, like a vacation? Yeah.
Yeah. My name's Maya, and this summer my family and I went on a boat trip to Tahiti.
Bora Bora? Oh, Tahiti.
Yeah, Tahiti, and I drew a picture because I want to go back there.
Is that the island or is that a volcano?
That's the island, and I think that's Bora Bora.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. Good job. Anybody else? Were you going to talk to us about your flower?
So I made a picture, but I didn't bring it up. But I brought up this thing I made. So yeah, it's like a little flower thing.
It's a little
that
rose.
I just was messing around with the clay.
That's beautiful.
Built it.
Do you want to tell us what you did?
I made a fish out of the Play-Doh that we had, and I also tried to make a fish tank, but I didn't have enough time, so I just made the little pouch that I know how to make. And I want a fish because I haven't got one yet.
Where's the parent? Did you get that? He wants a fish. Do you want a goldfish or a freshwater fish?
Don't know yet.
Okay. Goldfish are easier. Oh, wow.
My name
Show that
is-
over there, too. Okay, go ahead. It's all yours.
Hi, I'm Wesley, and I drew an art studio because I want an art studio, and yeah, so that's basically it.
Well done.
That's amazing. Just amazing. Wow. Okay. Who are my practitioners today? Oh, wait, hold on. She had one more thing to say, but you can come up.
So sorry. Today we're having our teen camp meeting after service. So if you could pick up your little ones immediately after service so that I can get the teen families in and get started with our
That's
meeting,
right,
I'd
because
appreciate that.
teen camp is when, isn't it?
It's next week. We leave Friday.
Okay.
Very exciting.
Okay. Okay, so these are our two practitioners, Audrey and Lindy. Where are you going to be?
I'll be upstairs.
Lindy will be upstairs in the meditation room. You will be downstairs in my office. These are two very, very powerful women who know the truth without any double vision. So bring your double vision to them and let them, just as any good eye doctor would, straighten it out for you. Oh, that's right. Lindy Larson, Audrey Larson. E-N-O-N. Got it. Okay. Can I have all the practitioners and ministers stand, please? Dr. Jim, do you want to treat us out?
Just take a deep breath with me and let it out with a nice sigh. So this I know. I am one with the universal presence, universal mind, universal intelligence, with all that is. There is no separation. It is simply my experience through my senses that tells me there is. But when I step inside, I see that it's all one seamless intelligence unfolding with love and compassion. So as I leave this building today, I step into a new reality within myself that allows me to be the love, to be the intelligence, to be the wisdom and the joy that I know exists within me and throughout this universe. I am a portal for good expressing. I am a mobile blessing unit, blessing everyone and everything I see. An MBU. I am saying yes to good more and more in my life and releasing any need for limitation or to feel diminished. I am who I am, and that is enough. So knowing all this is so, and knowing that as a part of this vibrant, vital spiritual community, I am supported in these intentions, I dwell in a deep sense of gratitude. I'm grateful that I walked in here at some point in my life, and I'm grateful that I have stayed, if it's been for a week or if it's been for 30 years. I am grateful that I am the person I am becoming, and I am grateful for all who have aided me on my journey, my teachers, my associates, my friends, my family. So with this gratitude, I release this word into the creative field that we call mind, knowing it is done unto us as we believe, and together we say, and so it is.
It is. Thank you. That was beautiful. All right, folks, I invite the rest of you to stand. Come on out. So you think there's nothing new under the sun? If it's possible, it's already been done. If you think this stage has all been set, think again. You ain't seen nothing yet. Sun will come up with the wave of your hand. You're smack
you made your bed. Did you? And ain't nothing down that road ahead. You think this is as good as it gets?